the very latest from across the nation and around the world. This is your Primetime News Bulletin. A very good evening. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Krishna Panitharatna.
The eyes of the international community are on the Korean Peninsula, and much of the world's attention is the usual rhetoric of the North, and other such actions have been circumvented by the closure of the Kaesong Joint Industrial Zone, are sparking fears of the conflict.
We have a comprehensive report on that story, but first a look at the headlines.
The services of casual health attendants at the National Hospital who left work without permission terminated. The Udian newspaper office in Kilinochchi attacked. Minister Mervyn Silva's son Mollica Silva and 6 other defendants acquitted on charges of assault. And the ex-co of Sri Lanka cricket summoned to appear in court on the 8th of April.
The Ministry of Health has decided to terminate the employment of all casual health assistants of the National Hospital who report to work but left the workplace without permission. The ministry says that the casual health assistants report to work today but had refrained from engaging in their duties without obtaining prior approval.
Trade union action commenced the day before yesterday against the transfer of a minor staff employee attached to the National Hospital. Yesterday, the Mollica Magistrate Court issued an enjoining order suspending the trade union action, and the transfer recommended by the Public Services Commission be implemented immediately. Court also ordered the employee, whose transfer led to the trade union action, to report to work at the Ragama Hospital. He was ordered to be present before the Mollica Magistrate Court at 9 this morning. The Ministry of Health should take responsibility. The Ministry of Health and its officials can intervene in this matter pertaining to a single person and end this struggle without inconveniencing the patients and the employees here.
At a time when there are corrupt individuals holding positions, it is disappointing to note that an injustice was caused to a person who always helped in a time of need.
The All Ceylon Government Medical Officers Association also rendered its support to this trade union action. We hope that the improper transfer given to him will be annulled and services at the National Hospital will return back to normal. However, such an environment has not been created. The ministry has taken a decision that is both stubborn and serious in nature. We urge the Minister of Health and officials at the ministry to reverse this decision immediately. A worker at the National Hospital was issued an order based on disciplinary grounds and was ordered to be transferred to the Ragama Hospital. He appealed against this order. However, the Public Service Commission quashed the appeal. We at the Ministry of Health will in no way stop this order from being implemented.
We contacted the director of the Colombo National Hospital, Dr. Anil Jasingha, regarding the present situation at the hospital.
There was some disruption of services yesterday by a section of minor employees following a disciplinary action taken on one employee. However, yesterday by afternoon there was a magisterial order to stop the disruption. So they withheld disruption by yesterday evening, and yesterday since there were certain sections of the hospital which could cripple, the health ministry had to employ some civil defense service members. We thought that today things would be smooth, but there was a small section of employees who continued this disturbance, but situation was much better than yesterday, and we didn't have to seek external assistance. So we hope and pray that the employees, all the employees would report to work tomorrow.
Meanwhile, the Government Nursing Officers Association engaged in a demonstration opposite the Ministry of Health today.
The demonstrators made several demands, including granting promotions based on the old nursing service constitution and annulling of Gazette number 1779 for provincial councils. There are salary anomalies and issues regarding our allowances. The emergency allowance was not given to any nursing officer. Inventory allowances and communication allowances were not granted. In January this year, medical officers were given a 10,000 rupee increase and a communication allowance of at least 10,000 rupees. However, health authorities have not taken measures to grant these allowances in comparison to the salaries of nursing officers.
Welcome back to the news. In the wee hours of this morning, the office of the Udayan newspaper in Kilinochchi was attacked by an unidentified group. Now, 5 people who were in the office at the time of the attack were injured.
The office located in Karadippoku, Kilinochchi along the A9 highway was attacked at about 4:30 this morning. The police say that preliminary investigations have revealed that about 7 masked men were involved in the attack. 5 people were inside the office at the time the attack took place. Our reporter said while 2 people who were injured in the attack were admitted to the Kilinochchi hospital, the other 3 received minor injuries. The police say investigations are underway to identify the suspects. The Northern Provincial Council election is imminent. The government ministers Rishad Badeuddin and Douglas Devananda are keen on securing victory in the Vanni district. They thought that Udayan could be an obstacle to this and attempted to turn the people's mindset. But they failed. Finally, it could be that they have resorted to violence. But I have no doubt that the army and military intelligence were behind this. Issuing a communique condemning the attack, UNP parliamentarian Karu Jasuwe said that the right of the people of the north to hold differing views is again under threat. In his communique, Jasuwe questions as to who has created the environment which enables unidentified thugs to carry out attacks with impunity and then flee scot-free. We saw how in the north, Tamil political parties which engage in politics there are being attacked and harassed and are not being allowed to engage in politics. One symbol of this procedure being followed in the north is the attacks, suppression and threats levelled at the media. As the United National Party, we strongly condemn this. Meanwhile, issuing a communique, the Janata Vimukti Peramuna says that only law enforcement officials are unaware of the identity of unidentified individuals who carry out attacks. The JVP states that it is no secret to the public as to who is responsible for the attacks.
In another story that made the headlines this evening, now 7 persons, including Mollica Silva, the son of Minister Mervyn Silva, who were accused of assaulting an army major, were acquitted of all charges today. The case was dismissed by Fort Magistrate Gihan Pilapitia.
The magistrate stated that the 7 individuals were acquitted based on the advice of the Attorney General. The Attorney General had informed that there was no sufficient evidence for a case to be filed. The 7 individuals were accused of assaulting the army major on the 8th of September last year. The army major was not present in court today.
Speaking at a conference organized by the Freedom Law Students Organization of Sri Lanka in Colombo today, Minister of External Affairs Professor G.L. Peiris said the law does not remain constant.
Minister of External Affairs Professor G.L. Peiris was the keynote speaker at this conference. The law is not constant. When society is subject to rapid changes, we need to have the strength to creatively change legal theories and fundamentals to suit the times. When a person commits a serious crime, like murder for instance, and make a confession, then how is a criminal law enforced? What is the main task of the courts? The primary intention of criminal law is to determine whether the accused has in fact committed the crime, and if that is the case, take steps to protect society from him.
ඒ පුද්ගලයාගෙන් සමාජයේ ආරක්ෂා කිරීම තමයි අපරාධ නීතියේ ප්‍රමුඛ අරමුණ වන්නේ.
A suspect who had been accused of possessing 2.5 grams of heroin was sentenced to death by Colombo High Court Judge P-1 today. The judge said when considering corruption in society due to the abuse of drugs, such crimes cannot be given minor court rulings. He added that when the accused was arrested on the 1st of August in 2004, it was proven he had heroin in his possession. Minister of Public Administration and Home Affairs WDJ Senimiratna says that the Inspector General of Police arrested a member of the minister's coordinating staff in connection with a murder case for the officer's own protection. The minister made the statement at a media briefing held regarding the acquittal of the minister's staff member.
The person named Dharmasiri worked as my coordinating secretary. That is the connection here. The Inspector General of Police said that there was no evidence, but he was arrested for his own safety. I think that the Attorney General, after analysing the evidence, established that there was no evidence against him and then released him. This is what I think I saw in the papers today.
As tensions rise on the Korean Peninsula, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has made a pledge that the U.S. will protect its allies.
The United States will defend and protect ourselves and our treaty ally, the Republic of Korea.
For more on the unraveling situation in the Koreas, stay tuned for the International Desk.
The document listing the auspicious times for customs to be followed during the Sinhala and Tamil New Year was presented to President Mahinda Rajapaksa this morning.
The customary handing over the document known as the Aurudu Nakatsi tour to the President was held with the initiative of the Ministry of Cultural Affairs. Meanwhile, the government has focused attention on obtaining the assistance of local industrialists in the private sector for construction activities of proposed water supply schemes under the Government Development Programme. Speaking at the meeting in this regard at Temple Trees last evening, President Mahinda Rajapaksa pointed out that placing faith in local industrialists is profitable for the country.
Singiti is the name given to an infant who was brought unexpectedly to the Waterwala Hospital on the 1st of this month. Singiti, as she is fondly known by everyone at the hospital, was found abandoned under a culvert in Hatton.
The one-day-old infant was found abandoned under a culvert located near the Waterwala Sinhala Vidyalaya in Hatton on the 1st of this month. The infant, now known fondly as Singiti, is lucky to be alive and be showered by the love, affection and attention of the staff at the Waterwala Hospital and the mothers who are being treated at the hospital. Mothers at the hospital have not hesitated to breastfeed Singiti, who has lost the care of her parents. Yesterday, the Hatton magistrate ordered for the infant to be handed over to the Tikiri Children's Home in Udupera, Denia. Although prison officials arrived at the hospital to take away little Singiti, they were not able to do so.
We are currently giving antibiotics to prevent bacteria from entering the baby's system. Normally, this antibiotic course is given for 3 days. The 3 days will conclude tomorrow. Thereafter, we have to give the baby a BCG vaccination. Once we complete this treatment, we can hand over the baby to the custody of the courts.
The district medical officer noted that she has been receiving a number of requests from people who are interested in adopting Singiti.
Around 100 people have made requests. The area residents have been providing milk powder and clothes for the baby. Although the baby is with us, it is the court that has complete ownership of the baby. There is no reason to abandon a child on the streets because there are people in this country who want children. If one is unable to take care of a child, then the child can be handed over to someone through the law.
කටයුතු කරලා වෙනත් කෙනෙකුට බාර දෙන්න හොඳටම පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවා.